Coming up on After the Whistle, District 6 winter sports are getting ready for playoff season.
Plus, a record-breaking performance at State College.
And Penn State Wrestling's dominant BJC win over number 2 Iowa. After the Whistle starts now. Hello and welcome back to After the Whistle. Our crews have traveled all over District 6 over the week to cover high school wrestling, basketball, and more. Live from University Park, I'm Harlan Pena.
And I'm Chase Fisher. Penn State's men's lacrosse started off their season strong as women's basketball prepares to play Washington. All that and more right here on After the Whistle.
The Central York Panthers traveled to State College on Monday to face off in a non-conference match. The Little Lions look to break their 4-game losing streak in a night full of surprises and a special guest. That's right, Penn State head basketball coach Mike Rhodes made a special appearance at State High. The Little Lions started the night hot as Michael Power hits a corner three-pointer assisted by Charlie Yartz. Central York didn't make things easy as Byron Pinky got the steal and is slipped and slewed and ensured below the basket. They can't keep onto this ball. I think they're playing hot potato.
It's a greased pig out there.
Does he make it? Does he make it? Pinky would score the buzzer beater, tying things up 12-12 at the end of the first quarter. Panthers' Ben Nadel would keep things interesting as he nailed a three-pointer early in the second, making it 18-21 State High. Panthers kept momentum alive as Peaky and Brown would team up for the drive and assist, keeping this close all the way. State High would respond with Charlie Yart's calm and collected one-leg basket.
That looked like a flamingo.
There was one player tonight who truly stood out as Central York's Ben Nadel broke the school's scoring record of 1,622. Congrats. Despite an impressive performance, Central York was not able to defeat the Little Lions, who walked away with the win 67-62. State High moves to 9-10 as Central York drops to 19-2 in this non-conference upset.
Two of the top dogs in the Laurel Highlands Boys Basketball Conference came to play on Friday night as the Tyrone Golden Eagles looked to upset undefeated Greater Johnstown. The Golden Eagles welcoming fans into Tyrone High School. End of the third quarter, Andrew Escala cuts right, then back to the left for the post in the mid-range shot. Tyrone trails 48-39. Ashton Walk with the no-look pass feeds it down low for Escala again, who fights through contact to put up 2 points on the board to start the fourth quarter. Escala finished the night with 15 points in front of a packed house. Leading by only 6 now, the Trojans' Amir Robinson pivots out of the double team for Dante Tissinger to knock down the 3. The long ball put Greater Johnstown out in front 55-46. In the final seconds, the Black and Blues defense make a last-second stand to keep Tyrone off the board. Greater Johnstown ran out the rest of the clock to grab a 59-46 road victory over Tyrone.
Road victories are always the best.
The Trojans remain unbeaten at 17-0 and at the top of the Laurel Highlands standings. Meanwhile, the Golden Eagles' 3-game winning streak comes to an end as they fall to 13-4 on the year.
This past Friday night, the 7-8 Tyrone Golden Eagles welcomed the 11-6 Greater Johnstown Trojans. The Golden Eagles looking for revenge on the Trojans after their 54-50 loss last February. Greater Johnstown off to a hot start. Claire Lehman passes it into the steal. Cassie Hardinson down to Zayona Thomas, who puts up the easy 2. They're making that look so easy. The Trojans up now in the second quarter, passing around their arc out to Marcella White, who drains the three-pointer. Get ready to hear her name a lot tonight. Don't get tired of it. Jumping to the fourth, Tyrone gaining on Greater Johnstown. Lola Woomer puts it up for the 3. Swish. The Golden Eagles cutting into the Trojans' lead. Do I hear a comeback? Let's find out. But Greater Johnstown would hold on to their lead, with White putting up another three-pointer. She would go on to score a total of 16 points on the night. The Trojans fought off the Golden Eagles to win the match 43-36. Greater Johnstown moves to 12-6 while Tyrone drops to 7-9.
Our reporter Brian Portney was at the game. Brian, how was it out there?
Well, it was a close game in the first half, a bit too close for Trojans head coach Xavier Thomas and company, but they pulled away in the final few minutes with a little help from Zayona Thomas and Marcella White. The Greater Johnstown Trojans came into their Friday showdown with the Tyrone Golden Eagles riding a 3-game win streak. The Trojans led by 3 at half, but they were not done yet. Just when it looked like the Trojans were pulling away, the Golden Eagles made the final minutes interesting.
It was a close game heading into halftime, but with some third quarter adjustments and a fourth quarter and one from one of the Trojans, that was enough to seal the deal for Greater Johnstown.
Honestly, I was just trying to get my teammates to calm down under pressure because they were coming back, so I felt like we really needed it.
For Greater Johnstown head coach Xavier Thomas, all the Trojans needed was to stay calm.
And then I think we just needed the confidence, settle down for a second. Once we settled down, we were fine.
Marcelia White had 16 points through 3 quarters, and she enjoyed playing in quite a raucous atmosphere.
As a female athlete, especially as a black female athlete, you don't get like a lot of supporters. Like there's a lot of people like doubting you. So playing in this big arena is like something like very life-changing for me.
Greater Johnstown is 7th in the Laurel Highlands Conference, hoping to finish strong in the final 2 games of the regular season. Reporting live in the studio, I'm Brian Portney.
Thank you, Brian. The Hollidaysburg Golden Tigers took on the Bishop Carroll Lady Huskies at home last Friday, where a remarkable milestone was reached by one of the players. Early in the first quarter, Lauren Stevenson gets on a fast break and drops it off to Bella Vent for her to reach her 1,000th point.
How good did that feel?
Oh, it must have felt amazing for her. As you see, teammates come out to congratulate her on the court. Now she goes into the stands with her family.
Her family's what got her, showing some support. Congratulations to her, what a moment.
After the timeout, Hollidaysburg's momentum did not let down as Alyssa Heim passes to McKenna Weimert, who nails a high arcing 3. Lady Huskies down the third by a significant sum, but Ava Pablet puts the offense on her back and gets a nice finish, but the Golden Tigers respond with one of their own from Kate Steiner. Vent keeps the game well in control for the Golden Tigers as sinking another 3 right there.
Just on fire the whole night.
The Hollidaysburg Golden Tigers went on to defeat the Lady Huskies by a margin of 64-38. The Golden Tigers advanced to 15-1, but dropped their next game against Altoona, whilst the Lady Huskies fell to 14-4, but picked up their next game against Bedford.
The 7-9 Tyrone Golden Eagles desperately need a win after losing 4 in a row. They face a 4-12 Bald Eagle team looking for a turnaround game. Tyrone beat Bald Eagle 54-27 in their first matchup between these two back in December. Let's see how this one goes. First quarter, and it's Tyrone's Lola Woomer catching a pass at the top of the arc, drilling the 3 to make it 5-1 Golden Eagles. Bald Eagle not going away easily. Olivia Taylor steals the inbound and goes coast to coast, finishing for 2 and cutting the deficit to 6.
That's a robbery.
Tyrone back on offense, and it's Elena Woomer finding Elise Folders in the paint for an easy 2-point. Golden Eagles extend their lead to 12. A few plays later, Volder grabs the rebound and finishes through contact for the second chance bucket and the 1, putting up easy points. Tyrone soars higher against Bald Eagle, winning this one 47-34. Tyrone takes the series sweep and moves to 1 game under 500 at 8-9, while Bald Eagle falls to 4-13.
Moving over to wrestling now, 5-3 State College went on the road last weekend for the District 6 3A duels against undefeated Central Mountain. Both teams are led by Penn State commits. Jason Nickel and State High look to end Central Mountain's undefeated season.
Let's see if they can do it.
State High started off strong with a pin and a win and sudden victory, but Central Mountain got on the board with 285-pounder Bryce Brungart getting a decision and sudden victory to cut the lead to 9-3.
Keeping us all on our toes for that sudden victory.
After Central Mountain scored 14 unanswered points, State High responded with a 3-point decision as 121-pounder John Whitbread scored the only points with a reversal. Whitbread cut Central Mountain's lead to 14-12. But after that match, it was all Central Mountain from there. Penn State commit Dalton Perry dominated his match by bringing Sam Davidson straight to the mat and securing his 27th pin of the season. To make the score 32-12 in the victory over State High, as 160-pounder Ananiwa wasted no time in his match, rolling straight into a cradle and getting a pin of his own. Central Mountain ended up winning 44-18 and went on to face Altoona in the final. The Wildcats beat Altoona after their win over State High, keeping their undefeated season alive. The State College Little Lions moved to 5-4 and will face off against Ridgeway next Tuesday.
The PIAA duels began on Tuesday as Corey area defeated McGuffey 41-24 in the preliminary rounds before facing Bishop McCourt. Here comes the Crimson Crushers out to their home floor for the first round of the PIAA double duels. Can they get it done against the Beavers? I wish everywhere I walked it was like that. It's a party to start the arena. Starting it off at 215 pounds, Cale Aros faces McCourt's Marquise Gordon. And Gordon gets this move that gets Albers on his back and earns a 3-point fall to make the score 6-0. Nice 6 points to start off the match, going on strong. Wow, they keep going. He got it. Done. Albers would fight back to force sudden victory, and in the tiebreaker round would score this reversal with 15 seconds left to win the match, keeping us all on our toes until those 15 seconds.
Such a hard-fought victory right there.
Literally fighting to the very end. Now for Eli Herring, wasting no time pinning Logan Willis. Don't blink because you might have missed that 8-second match. 8 seconds? I can't do anything in 8 seconds.
Wow, that was quick.
From one Herring brother to the next, Sam Herring wrestles Aiden Becker at 139, and he forces Beckering under him, and after some hand fighting, he builds the cradle and rocks the baby to sleep for their 5th pin of the night. Good night to them, catching some Z's. Now time for the main event at 1:45. Bo Bassett faces Zach Nichols and wastes no time, getting 3 points in 2 seconds, then bringing Nichols right back down before wrapping around for his second takedown. And no worries, he wouldn't need a third as he forces his hips over Nichols and finishes the job as the #1 wrestler in the class of 2026.
Showed you why right there.
Literally. The Bishop McCourt Crimson Crusher would crush the Corey area Beavers 58-2 to move on to the next round of the PIAA double duels. But the festivities would not end there, as Bo Bassett would announce the packed gym that he's committing to the University of Iowa to advance his wrestling career. Our own Evan Smith had the opportunity to ask him what led him to the Hawkeyes.
I think the way I was born, raised, grown up, my mentality, the way I wrestle has always been kind of that same way that Iowa does it. And in the Hawkeyes, they wrestle really hard and wrestle, they work hard. So.
Coming up, Penn State women's basketball is minutes away from 60 years of PSU women's sports games.
And a look at Penn State wrestling's win over Iowa. Let's take a look around the standings of District 6.
Today we celebrate National Girls and Women in Sports Day. Our Penn State Lady Lions basketball team is home at the BJC tonight to host Washington. This game will be a split celebration for NJWSD and 60 years of Penn State women's sports. Our reporter Allie Wiskowski is live outside the BJC to give us more insight. Allie?
Thanks, Harlan. Penn State was one of the first universities to elevate women's sports to varsity status even before the enactment of Title IX. Their first competition was in 1964, with 9 intercollegiate teams being created before Title IX passed in 1972. Like you said before, the Penn State Lady Lions are home tonight and celebrating this in their game. The athletes are wearing pregame shirts in celebration, and they'll be in-game, in-venue reads. Local Girl Scout troops were also invited to today's game. They'll be participating in halftime activities, also giving out cookies, of course, and they'll be allowed to shadow coaches and other members of the athletic staff in order to show them what it's like to work in the sports industry. Reporting live outside the BJC for After the Whistle, I'm Allie Winskowski. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Allie. Penn State Wrestling hosted Iowa in their BJC duel on Friday. Our reporter Sophia Koch was there. Sophia.
Thanks, Chase. It's always special when Penn State Wrestling is in the BJC. Not only was the team excited, but the fans were electric. Let's take a look. Penn State took on Iowa in the packed Bryce Jordan Center. The night was highly anticipated with sophomore Nittany Lion Tyler Kasak taking on one of Iowa's toughest number 1 ranked Jacori teamer. Number 3 ranked Kasak stepped into the match at the 157 with something to prove. Starting the second period, Kasak took a 4-1 lead against teamer. Following Kasak's lead, he sustained a gash to the forehead, causing the ref to call a blood timeout.
I didn't even really know how bad or what it really looked like. I just knew there was a little bit of blood. So, it's just part of the sport, and I kind of like it. It's fun. Makes you feel alive a little bit.
Kasak finished the match lifting teamer into the air for the last seconds as the clock reached 0, celebrating as the match ended, beating teamer 5-2. This adrenaline-filled match included 2 tech falls from freshman Nittany Lion Luke Lillidahl and Iowa's number 2 ranked Drake Ayala. Penn State finished the match dominating against Iowa with a final score of 30-8, proving once again they're the team to beat.
We're just trying to be at our best in the big moments, right? I mean, that's a statement that is just of consistency. I mean, consistency is kind of the name of the game.
Improving to 10-0 after their 5th consecutive win against Iowa and their 66th in a row in dual meets, Penn State maintained their number 1 ranking. Next, Penn State will return to the BJC this Friday to take on Michigan in hopes of continuing their undefeated season. Reporting for After the Whistle, I'm Sophia Koch.
Thanks, Sophia. We can't wait to see what they do against Michigan. Last season, Penn State lost their season opener to Colgate Raiders in a 13-12 upset. This past Saturday, the 2 teams met for a rematch at Panzer Stadium. The 2 teams met at the face-off circle to officially start the season, handshaking and now let the games begin. We start off early in the second period as Liam Matthews off a feed scores behind the back goal that gave Penn State a 3-2 lead. What a way to start. Late in the second period, Liam Connor goes around the back of the net to score over the top to get Colgate within 3.
What a move right there.
Happy about that one, not happy it's against Penn State. With 1 second to go until halftime, Jack Amon goes 5-hole for his first goal of the year to give Penn State a 9-5 lead at the break. Congrats on his first goal, glad it was against Colgate. In the second half, it's Matt Trainer with one of his 5 goals and 2 assists on the day. Trainer with the behind-the-back beauty. What a day he had.
Yeah, really.
The Nittany Lions avenged their season-opening loss from last season with a 14-9 victory. They will be back in action this Sunday on the road against Villanova before coming home to face Princeton in Week 3.
Well, we covered a lot of games this week, and Sophia Miranda has the top 3 plays.
Yeah, all the action we saw this week was impressive, but these 3 really captured our attention.
Let's look at them.
Starting off the list at number 3, Central Mountains Luke Anania wraps around Xavier's roof and flips him over, getting a hold of his leg to put shoulder to the mat and ended. What a play right there.
What a play, smacked him down, it's over super quick.
Exactly, and there we
Shakes
see
hands,
him
get
winning.
out of there.
Exactly. And number 2, senior attacker Matt Trainer gets the feet down low and goes behind the back for his 4th goal against Colgate. Trainer finished the day with 7 points and this mesmerizing play.
Can't stop looking at it.
And now the best play of the week, Ellie Herring goes quickly pining Logan Willis in just 8 seconds.
I could watch that clip over and over again.
Exactly.
8 seconds was crazy.
Exactly. Those are our top 3 plays for the week.
That's all from this week's edition of After the Whistle. Tune in next week for more coverage of District 6 and Penn State sports. I'm Harlan Pena.
And I'm Chase Fisher. For more updates about our show and coverage of the games, follow us on X, Instagram, and TikTok at ATWPSU. And check out Penn State Student Media's website. We'll see you next week, right here on After the Whistle.